train, did you ever speak to the conductor? When you got on the plane, did you ever get to speak to the pilot? When you're doing these things, you don't ever say, hey, can I see your credentials? Can I know how long you've been doing this? Let me see your resume. Let me see your experience. We simply get on the train and get on that plane. We just trust that we're going to get to our destination, and our life is completely at risk. You are literally putting your trust in a human being, and you never once question them. You just trust that in the position that they're in, they're going to get you where you have to go. How much more trust does the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the one that does everything but fail, how much more, the one who can't do no wrong, the one who doesn't lie, the one who stays the same, the one who remains faithful, how much more safety should we feel knowing that we belong to God and we don't really trust God like we say we do? And you'll see it in how you question, God, are you still there? God, are you still with me? God, do you still love me? And it's like, yo, do what he said to do. Get in his presence. The peace of God will reassure you, as in remind you, I'm still here.
Hello and welcome. It's me, Persita, and this is Persita's Paradox. I must admit, from the very beginning of me trying to shoot this video, which just so happened to be the Sunday that we found out that Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and 7 other passengers had passed away in a helicopter crash, I struggled with if I actually wanted to do a video. And it wasn't because I personally knew Kobe or I could only say that I was just relating. It was just something about what that stood for in the regards to just immortality. And it was something about me having issues all that week of trying to figure out how I was going to better myself and how I felt like I was running out of time and just all these other weird things. But I wanted to start the video off by saying that because it was very complicated for me to want to get online and say anything, especially something positive, when I felt so negative. And I really still can't figure out why exactly it touches home so much. Is it the motherhood? Is it the father-daughter scenario? Is it the camaraderie that these people had to be on a helicopter together for their normal means of transportation and how sudden it was? I think it was a combination of all those things. But for me, it was just, before I could even speak, I wanted to be able to come and be honest and open with you and say it's a struggle today for me to really say what I had planned to say, but I definitely want to still do what I would think someone of that caliber who I hold at great esteem, who passed away, would say. And that is, you just have to get back up and keep going and putting one foot in front of the other and just understand that God is great and that I don't have to understand, I just have to know. And then I jumped on that. And I realized I wanted to actually speak on that exact point. And the point for me is I'm divorcing results. I'm divorcing the attitude, the aspect, the concept of if I don't see results, then it's not worth doing it. And I say that because even when I thought about fitness, right? And the irony of fitness is that it's so disturbing to start to exercise. And no one talks about it. Everyone just talks about persevering, getting through, and dedication and consistency. I mean, I know I'm one of those people who only talk about those things for the most part. But when I really think a person finds it very difficult to exercise, because the one thing that we strive to have in exercise and what exercise stands for is results. And then I realized I have really gone through a lot of my life not really knowing and understanding what I know, but only understanding what result I see and basing my temperament and my ideas and my aspects to proceed on with the result. Now, don't get me wrong. I can actually see people's heads and frontal lobes turning and say, well, Persita, how would you gauge it? What's your measurement stick if you don't use results? I guess what I'm trying to say is not to not use results, but not to focus on results to the degree that you forget the resolve. And the resolve is really the knowledge of knowing. It's really not what you feel or what you see, but it's actually understanding that if you're putting forth the work, then it will literally benefit you over whatever time frame it needs to happen. but it'll happen, and it'll be exactly the way you want it to be because you've put in the work. So then your focus is more on just doing what you need to do, more so than waiting on the result to be triumphant in the scenario. I guess that's the best way I can put it. And I hate to say it, but when I think about Kobe Bryant and just what the Lakers have meant to any basketball fan out there, what his daughter actually meant to just what his legacy was going to be. I mean, how ironic is it for a man to have only had girls, right? Wanting boys. Because wouldn't the expectation for a great like that be a boy, right? At least one boy. He had 4 girls, and not one time did he ever shift his energy or his direction or even his understanding of what basketball could be to those girls. And isn't it just the saddest that the person that was most attracted to basketball in regards to his children was also with him? But isn't that also fitting, right? So it's this thing where you just kind of look and say to yourself, am I really so caught up on results that I don't understand that the resolve is really what I want to focus on? So when I say and wholeheartedly mean, I'm divorcing results. Because if I understand my resolve and I'm doing what I have to do, I don't have to worry about the result. The result will show up when the result is ready to show up. Instead of me being only result driven, only saying I'm going to the gym or I'm eating right for 4 days because I'm gonna jump back on the scale so that I know that I'm 2 pounds lighter. Instead of being the type of person that's just really only focused on, am I losing weight? Is my pants too small? Are they too big? Are they fitting the way I want? I mean, you want to know those things, but I guess what I'm really trying to say in this muffled minutia I'm speaking today is you don't want to just focus on that. You want to understand that if you are moving, even if it feels like you're failing, you're not focusing on what you're feeling, you're focusing on what you know. And if you know you're doing the right thing, then you also have to know that at some point it has to reward itself. You reap what you sow, so it has to reap exactly what you're sowing. So you don't have to focus on so much the result. You can focus on knowing what you're doing and doing it to the best of your ability and knowing that that will bring forth a result, not just the result itself. So I use fitness because I'm in fitness, right? And it's very easy for me to talk about fitness the same way I'm sure it's very easy for someone in the sports world to talk about sports, but coming off of an energy, and I think this energy will be happening for a while. I mean, I'm from Los Angeles. I wasn't born here, but I've been here since I was a very, very small child. So as far as I know, California is all I know. Los Angeles is all I know. And when I say it like that, I have to then own the fact that when I think of a Kobe Bryant spirit, or when I think of the resolve that he had, even when he was not winning, was the exact same resolve he had when he was winning. And I think that's what makes him great. He never shifted. He never beat himself up to the point where he felt like he couldn't continue to chase success. I think there's like a slogan or something that he said along those lines where failure brings forth the momentum for you to learn to chase success. Your determination chases success. And I think that's what I really have learned from this whole incident when I say to myself, this was a man who really was trying to do what he needed to do after having a hiccup in his marriage, after everyone still comparing him to Michael Jordan, after all of the negative that you had heard, the snitching with the basketball players back in the day. I mean, plenty of stuff that before he passed, many still spoke about. But I find it very interesting when you still see him, even in his death, the resolve and the result were still running in the exact same rhythm or momentum that they've always been in his life. And I think that is what I know that I want to be assured of. It was also very endearing to hear that he was okay with death and he was a true believer in God and felt like he was at peace with death. And for me, those are all things that I can say to you today on this somber Tuesday, that I strive for. And I'm divorcing anything that doesn't look like that. So today, let's just keep those people in prayer, every single one of them in prayer. I have a lot of followers who are overseas, a lot of military, and I know you guys are absolutely torn up about it. I have a lot of people on my channel who are from California, and I have a lot of people who just admired him as a ball player in itself. And I would say what we have to learn from it is what we individually have to take from it. And what that means is don't let this day pass you. You hear a lot of people say, make sure you're hugging your loved ones and let bygones be bygones and love on people that you love. I think that's absolutely true. But it still remains in everyone's hands to be able to let that go. You can't run up and hug someone who doesn't want to be hugged. But what you can continue to do is strive to be your best and to walk in your resolve and know that whatever you're doing it to the best of your ability and that you are sure of it. You're not feeling it, you're sure of it. You know it. That knowledge, that will bring forth exactly what it is that you are trying to seek out, be it the love from loved ones who you've not spoken to, be it resolution between friendships, whatever it is. So today I just wanted to get on and really tell you how much I appreciate you, how much I hope that this channel brings forth love and support for you in whatever you need. And I just wish you absolutely nothing more than the best to be all that you can be at all times. Why? Because we have to do those three things. We have to live life authentic, no matter what. Thank you so much for joining me. I greatly appreciate your time. I know it's not really a YouTube-y week, but I definitely want to put some type of content up for you to see. I too am in mourning, but I think we can try our best to get through it and move the way that only Kobe would move. And that's one step at a time towards your goal, chasing what you consider to be successful. Thank you again so much. Remember to like this video. Also remember to subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and feel free to make a comment below. Thank you again so much, and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
But what did you learn from that whole experience? Just having to go through what you went through.
God is great.
Is it that simple?
God is great. Don't get no simpler than that, bro.
Did you know that? I mean, everybody knows that, but the way you know it now, did you know it before that incident took place?
You can know it all you want, but until you got to pick up that cross that you can't carry, and he picks it up for you and carries you and the cross, then you know.